Have you ever wondered why ordinary people always seem to have money no matter what? Like there's some crazy secret that they know that nobody else knows? Today I want to share with you some frugal money mindset tips that I have learned over the last 20 years by studying mindset. Now when I say studying, I'm talking reading, listening, watching, taking notes, and putting into practice. I have helped women over the years in my coaching business with their mindset as well as getting out of debt and managing money better. These principles are key to getting out of debt and having money no matter what your income might actually be. Hi everybody, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for watching today. If you don't know me, I am the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach, and as a family we are debt-free. Money mindset combined with frugal living is one of the most exciting things that I've ever learned about. I love talking about this. I could have an entire channel on money mindset if I only had time. So let's go over 10 frugal money mindset principles that I have uncovered that will help you manage your money better, live a more frugal and joyful life. Let's talk about prioritizing value over cost. Now this is a frugal principle on itself, but it's connecting to the money mindset because of the way that you are thinking about money. You're prioritizing getting the most value over the dollar spent rather than just trying to spend the least amount possible. So instead of buying the cheapest shoes that you possibly can, you are investing in a good quality pair of shoes that's going to last you forever rather than having to spend a cheaper amount on a cheaper product every 6 months. It might cost more upfront, but it's definitely going to save you in the long run. And as far as shoes go, it's probably going to be better for your back and your feet with a better quality pair of shoes. So the money mindset here is all about value. Valuing the product that you're spending over just the cheapest product. When you're using money as a tool to get the best product for the best price that's going to last you the longest, that will make a difference in the behaviors and your thought patterns and your mindset. Embracing gratitude and contentment. This is one thing that I practice every single day. It's not crazy or weird or hokey to take a few minutes every evening and write down 5 things that you are grateful for. This does tremendous things for your money mindset. If you're grateful for what you have, the universe will open up for you and give you more. Appreciating what you have means you're not looking for more. You're not going out shopping for more. You're not impulse purchasing as much because you're happy with where you are and what you have. For many of us, it's super easy to feel like we need the most up-to-date, latest and greatest gadget, clothing item, car, house, whatever it may be. But being able to appreciate where you are, how lucky you are to be where you are, and happy and joyful about what you have matters. When you practice gratitude, you might find that you just don't need as much as you thought you did. One of my favorite authors, Brené Brown, says, "What separates privilege from entitlement is gratitude." And Oprah says, "Be grateful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough." Develop a resourceful mindset. Let's get creative here. Find creative solution and maximize resources. Now I understand if you're 55, 60 years old and you don't want to change your own oil. I get that. I get it's easier for somebody else to do it if you just pay them to do it. However, being resourceful means that you might have somebody else that you know could do it, a son, a grandson, a neighbor, and you can give them $20 for doing it on top of the supplies that they would need. That might be a really creative solution to getting your oil changed. Also, instead of buying new, consider borrowing or swapping. We're getting ready to do a book swap. Now, if you've been around this channel for a hot minute, you know that I'm a huge lover of books. So a few friends and acquaintances of mine are going to get together. We're each bringing 3 books and we're going to do a book swap. You can do the same thing with clothes. If you have a group of friends that are around the same size, you can very easily and so much fun do a clothing swap as well. Now, I know many times my husband's friends and acquaintances all come around to borrow things. Each of the men borrow different tools or different gadgets for a job that they might need in order to cut down on the spending of the new tool or accessory that they may need in order to do the job that they want to do. Now, how does this relate specifically to money mindset? Well, if you have the mindset that you don't necessarily need to go out and buy every time you need something, it changes the thoughts and behavior patterns about what money is actually useful for. Not spending time in fear. This might be one of my favorite. Fear-based decisions can lead to overspending and impulse purchasing. If you're living in fear, I'm never going to have enough money, I can't afford this, I don't have any money to buy this big bill is coming and I'm a little afraid because I can't pay it, and what's going to happen if I don't pay my car payment this month? Are they going to come and take it away? Living in fear will lead to bad decisions. Living a frugal life is all about being prepared and being mindful of your spending. Consider focusing on building a safety net, not so much a stockpile. And consider knowing where your money is going every month. This is not about living in fear, this is about making a plan. If you need a plan of action, grab your free, printable, downloadable budget planner. I'll leave a link in the comments below. Replace the fear with knowledge and planning. Know where your money is going and be confident in the financial plan that you have. This goes along with the state of the economy today. Instead of being fearful with what's coming, because we don't know what's coming, nor do we have a whole lot of control about what's coming. Instead of fear, understand that we can control what we do right now. We can't control what anybody else is doing. So for us and our family, we're concentrating on what we can control and how we can build stability in our house. We don't want to hyper-focus on the fear of what's going to happen in the future. Embrace the fact that things always work out for you and money just comes easily. Aligning spending with your values. What do you value most? What does that mean for you? Are you valuing giving, being grateful, gratitude, paying it forward? Are you valuing donating your money to the local pet shelter or the library or the children's museum? Choose to spend your money after everything has been paid on what brings you the most joy. This could be traveling, it could be books, it could be Starbucks coffee, it could be something bigger and greater like women's health issues or taking care of your family, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren down the line, completely changing your family tree for the better. Allocate your funds to bringing people closer together and bringing joy instead of just spending on things that don't matter. View money as a tool, not as a goal. Grant Cardona's wife did an Instagram reel that my husband sent to me a while ago. And I know I've said it before on this channel, but it's worth repeating. She said her husband taught her 3 things about money. He said these are the only 3 things that you need to know about money. You need to know how to earn it, how to store it, and how to multiply it. And I love this because storing it instead of saving it was a huge proponent of this theory. You're earning it, you're storing it until you can invest it into a place and then you can multiply it. For example, you're earning it. You have a separate account that you're holding on to the money that you need to invest in a Roth IRA. Now, as a 51-year-old woman, I can invest $8,000 a year in an IRA. I'm taking that money right now and I'm putting it into a high yield savings account, earning me 4.5% interest on that money right now. And once I get to that $8,000, I'm going to take it and invest into a Roth IRA. So I'm storing that money, allowing it to multiply until I can move it into another space where it's going to multiply even more. Money is a tool to achieve the lifestyle that you want. Being frugal with money is allowing you to stretch that a little bit further, focusing on the values that you have. And changing your money mindset from money being evil or not having enough money to using it as a tool pulls the emotions out of money for you, allowing you to just use it as a tool to get where you need to go. Adopt a growth mindset to build wealth. This is so fun for me. Believing that you can improve your financial situation no matter what. That you either have the skills that you need to do it, or as an amazing human, you can learn the skills that you need to do this. Focusing on habits like budgeting, storing, investing, tracking, shopping for sales. All of these things will make a big difference in the mindset and the wealth building that you might have. I mean, how many of us know the story about the millionaire next door who drives the old paid-for car, has a small, modest house, yet has millions of dollars in assets that nobody knows about? Understanding that small, consistent actions can lead to bigger growth over time. Let's also talk about debt freedom. Now, I know I talk about getting out of debt all the time to help you guys do so. Bob Proctor talked about this before he passed away, and I found it to be very fascinating. If you constantly focus on debt freedom, that's focusing on lack instead of abundance. So when you are constantly focusing on how to get out of debt, debt is negative, right? Debt is a bad thing. You shouldn't have debt because it's not a good idea. So you're focusing on the negative after time, after time, after time, after time, instead of focusing on the abundance. So instead of focusing on the money coming in, you are focusing on the money going out. So instead of focusing on it all the time, once a month we sit down and we throw a big chunk of money toward our debt. But we don't think about it on a daily basis. We think about it once a month when we're paying our bills, or once every paycheck, a few minutes when we're paying our bills, and we let it go. Practice mindful spending. This is a huge priority when you're working on a better money mindset. Before making purchases, consider what you're going to do with that purchase. Do you need it? Is it just a want? Do you have to have it? Could you use something in its place? Could you borrow from somebody else? Now my mind goes straight to clothes because I have a pretty decent amount of clothes in my closet. Now I am working through them to try to get rid of them before I buy anything else, just so I can see what I have. Even though a lot of them are a little bit big for me at the present time because I'm in a weight loss journey, I know that I do not need any more clothes. I have 5 or 6 nice shirts that I can wear for YouTube, and that's all I really need for good clothes. So I have the rest of my clothes to wear out. I have my daily work clothes. It's just fine. I am making a conscious decision to not buy any more clothes. I am being mindful of what I do have instead of just shopping because it brings me pleasure. Being intentional with your money helps to avoid those impulse purchases. I know for me, it's a lot easier to not spend money when I don't go into stores. So if you find that Kohl's or TJ Maxx or Target, they're your weak spots, you know you're going to spend there, just don't go there. If you need stuff from Target, do a grocery pickup or do a pickup outside where they can bring the stuff so you don't have to go in and be tempted by all the fantastic home goods. Being mindful anyway across the whole gamut is an excellent idea. Let go of guilt and shame around money. Many of you might know this story already. I was terrible at money in my 20s. I was always frugal. I've been frugal since the day I was born. But as far as managing money goes, I was awful. As many of you might know, in my 20s, I almost lost our house to foreclosure because I got behind and I didn't know what I was doing. I have learned to let those things go and tell myself that as I've grown, I am excellent with money. I am fantastic when it comes to managing money, I'm amazing when it comes to growing money, and I'm phenomenal when it comes to earning money. I have had to let the guilt and the shame from how terrible I was with credit cards and with managing money, I've had to let it go. Because it's not who I am now. It's the mistakes I made in the past, but it has nothing to do with who I am right now. Many of us are frugal. Many of us aren't so great at managing money. And this guilt and shame around that has to be let go in order for us to build wealth and create a better money mindset. This might be my favorite principle. Spend all of your time in love and positivity. Now, I am a super positive person, and I love with all of my heart and all of my being almost all the time. I'm working on the whole all the time thing, but let's face it, I am human and I am flawed. But practicing the joy of love and positivity as much as possible will do amazing things to your mindset and your heart set. Choosing to live in a state of love and possibility means you are living in a state of kindness. You're living in a state of optimism all of the time. You're constantly putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. If somebody's having a bad day, you don't know what's going on. If they cut you off in traffic, you have no idea what's going on in their lives, that they are in such a hurry and they're occupied with something else on their mind. You don't know. I saw an interview with Kristin Chenoweth a few weeks ago. It was on one of those late night talk shows where this woman cut in front of her in line. And if you know Kristin Chenoweth, she's an amazing singer, Broadway actress. She's teeny tiny with a super teeny tiny little voice. And she tapped this woman on the shoulder after she cut in front of her online and she said, "I forgive you." And the woman says, "I don't need your forgiveness." And she says, "Oh yes, I think you do." And she was sincere about it. It wasn't snarky. It wasn't sarcasm. It was forgiveness. Now, I think that she was a little salty when she said it because she was telling this story on TV. However, the precedent is the same. You don't know what's going on in somebody else's life. So just letting it go and forgiving them and putting yourself in their shoes will make a difference for you. And it'll make a difference for them. Now, you also create this amazing ripple effect, right? If you're treating somebody with kindness, it's going to change their mindset a little bit, and they may turn around and treat somebody else with kindness. There was a scientific experiment done years ago that I read about a smile. So if you smile at somebody, they're more apt to smile at the next person that they see. Not only will kindness improve your mood, strengthen your relationships, it will also enhance your financial stability as well. And this sense of stress-free and contentment fosters the idea, and all of this helps with the idea that being frugal is about mindfulness, confidence, and making smart choices, and not living in fear. Many times the way that we've experienced money in our past will dictate our future. But I truly believe that you're better with money than you think. And if you want to know more about how you're better with money than you think, watch this video next.